already saw imperative sentences, order and command. Now we are going to do permission and request. Okay, all these comprise of imperative sentences. Imperative sentences are commands, orders, permission and request. Okay, under these category, how to change active to passive voice we are just seeing now. So now we are going to see permissions and requests. Permission and requests. Let's see how to do this. And here, if we have an object, how to change it, and in case there is no object, sometimes under permission or request there won't be any object, but it's not intransitive that you or all or them is hidden. Okay, so such sentences how to change I'm going to teach you now. So first we'll see under permission and request that which has objects. When object is given. I'll just give you some sample sentences. First one, parents should be obeyed. Parents should be obeyed. Okay. Now, parents should always be obeyed. How many of you obey your parents? I don't know. But please make it a habit to obey, respect and honor your parents. Now, let's see how to change this. Let your parents be obeyed. Okay. Let your parents be obeyed. Parents should be obeyed. Now, actually, you should. Sorry, konja cut pannirunga. When the object is given. Okay, for example, if I tell you, obey your parents. That's very important, isn't it? We should all obey our parents. Now, let's see how to change this. Obey your parents is you obey your parents. You is understood, you is the subject and parents is the object. But here, subject is given but object is not given. Let's see. First one, obey your parents. Now, you obey your parents, you is not given, parents is the object. So, we bring the parents here, parents should be obeyed. Or we can also say, let your parents be obeyed. Okay. So, you obey your parents, parents should be obeyed by you. That you is understood, we are not using it. Whereas in this sentence, let your parents be obeyed. So that you comes here, okay. So, these two are the ways in which you change this sentence, which is a request. Obey your parents is a request, and we have written it thus. Next one. Please come soon. Now, here we use, it is a request, isn't it? So, please come soon. You are requested. You have to use that, you are requested. Here also, you please come soon. Okay? Here the object is not given. You are requested to come soon. Next one. Please don't talk loudly. Again, wherever you have please, we just add you are requested. Okay? Wherever you have please, it's a request, isn't it? So, we have to, when we change it, we have to use you are requested. Now, again, you are requested to talk, not don't, isn't it? So, we have to say do not, it becomes requested not to. Okay? One more sentence I will give you. Please close the door. This becomes you are requested to close the door. Okay, now here we can even add kindly obey your parents. Parents are to be, here instead of should, we can also add are to be, because should becomes more of an order. So, I am changing it. Kindly obey your parents. Parents are to be obeyed. Let your parents be obeyed. Okay? So, all these come under permissions or requests. I am just telling kindly obey your parents. Like sometimes we advise people in a very nice way. Parents are to be obeyed. Let your parents be obeyed. Please come soon. Here the object is not given. You are requested to come soon. Please don't talk loudly. You are requested not to talk. Do not becomes not to talk loudly. Next one. Please close the door. You are requested to close the door. In case somebody enters without closing the door, you are requested to close the door. Or please close the door. This is an active voice, the other one is in passive voice. Okay? So, mainly we use passive voice when we narrate something, an incident. This was done, a house was burgled. We don't say the thief burgled the house. We mainly use passive voice when we do report writing, okay, or narrating an incident. The door, that is, she was asked to do this, and the house was burgled, and the dog was taken outside. See, all that is in passive voice. So, report writings, when we do report writings for newspapers and all, mainly we use passive voice. That is why we have to learn all this. You may think, why learn active and passive voice? All this will be useful to you when you go for journalism, or when you have to report some incident to your manager. All this comes handy. We will move on to the next, that is, we have written requests here. We have some more to go. We will see the remaining sentences now. Now, we are going to see under permission and request, we are going to see sentences beginning with let for active voice. That is, for active voice, actually in passive voice we saw let, beginning with let. Now, we are going to see sentences beginning with let in active voice itself. Okay. Sentences beginning with let. I will give you 3 sentences beginning with let, and then we will go on to the remaining. Let me play here. Now, here we are just let me play here is something like asking for permission. So, let me be allowed to play here. That is how we are going to change it. Let me be allowed to play here. Or you can write it this way, I may be allowed okay. Let me be allowed to play here, or I may be allowed to play here. So, let me play here is active voice, and be allowed, let me be allowed. So, this is where you find this is the passive voice. Do you understand? Next one. Let us help them. Let us help them. So, this is a suggestion. Let me play here is a permission. And this is a suggestion. Now, let us help them. This is a suggestion, and how we are going to change it into passive voice, we are going to see. Let them be helped. See, this changes, this change, be helped changes it into the passive voice. Or we can even say, they may be helped. Okay. So again I will try to insist, this passive voice is very, very important. Active to passive voice is very important, very imperative for your report writings, narrating an incident, whether it's in the office or when you go, where you go on for journalism, anywhere, even for exams, they may give you some picture and they may ask you to narrate what is happening there. So passive voice is very, very important. Next one. We always say that is the let there be peace, let there be love and all that. Let me see. Let there be love shared among us. This is from one of the famous songs which Mother Teresa used to love. Okay? Let there be love shared among us. Or let us share love. Okay? Let us share love. Sorry. Let us share love and peace. Peace among us. Let's see how to change it now. So let us share love and peace among us. Let there be love and peace shared among us. Okay? This is just a suggestion. Comes under suggestion. Next, we are going to see where sentences where we have no object. With no object, these are let us stay here. Here is not an object, it is just an adjunct. It answers to the question where. So it is not an object. So with no object. Let us stay here. So this is a suggestion. Okay. How for request, we had you are requested or we are requested. For suggestion, you can change these active voices into passive voice by saying it is suggested. Okay? It is suggested for us to stay here. Okay, it is suggested for us to stay here. Next sentence. Let us sleep here or sleep there. It is suggested we may sleep there. Okay, shall we revise whatever we went through now? Under that is sentences beginning with let and permissions and suggestions. Okay, we'll just have a recap. Let us play here, or I'm sorry, let me play here. This is asking for permission. Let me play here. The passive voice is let me be allowed to play here, or I may be allowed to play here. Next one, suggestion. Let us help them. Let them be helped, or they may be helped. This is under suggestion. Next one. Let us share love and peace among us. Let there be love and peace shared among us. Let us stay here. This has no object at all, and this is a suggestion. These two sentences. It is suggested for us to stay here. Let us sleep there. It is suggested that we may sleep there. I hope you have understood the whole concept of active and passive voice. Now, I am going to give you some exercises and tests. Okay? First, we will work out a few sentences under all jumbled up, that is all the tenses together, and then we will move on to choosing the correct option. So, this is going to be the best way to train you for many exams. Many exams have this choose the right answer. Unless you know which is right and which is wrong, you may not be able to choose the right answer. For many bank exams, for SSC exams, many exams, active and passive voice, this is how they are going to ask you, choosing the right answer. Okay? I want you to be thorough with this concept so that you can face any question boldly. Now, we are going to work out an exercise for you to be thorough with this chapter, okay? And then I am going to give you a test, and let's see how much you score and whether you are a star or a superstar in active and passive voice. Okay. Now, we are just going to see how to change these sentences into passive voice. I have brought in from different tenses. The police arrested a militant and sent him to jail. The police arrested a militant and sent him to jail. Come on, how are you going to change it? Now, which is the object here? The police arrested a militant. So, you have to bring that militant here. A militant was arrested. This is simple present tense, simple past tense. The militant was arrested and sent to jail and sent to jail by whom? By the police. It's understood who will usually arrest a militant. Okay, he was arrested means by the police, it's understood, and sent to jail by the police. Okay, a militant was arrested and sent to jail by the police. By the police is understood. You can write it or you need not write it. Next one. It is necessary to help the poor. This is a requirement, okay. It is necessary to help the poor. So, we can just say, if we just say we should help the poor, that's different. Here it is given, it is necessary. So, it is a requirement. So, it is required for the poor to be helped. Okay. It is required for the poor to be helped. It is necessary to help the poor becomes it is required for the poor to be helped. Next one. It is time to wind up business. Okay. How would you write that? It is time to wind up business. It is time, it comes just like that, to wind up business for the business to be wound up. To be wound up. Wind becomes wound. It is time for the business to be wound up. To wind up becomes to be wound up. Okay? We are using the participle. Next one. The fruit tastes sweet. The fruit tastes sweet. Here there is no object. How are you going to change it? The fruit is sweet when it is tasted. The fruit is sweet when it is tasted. By whom? By anybody. Okay, that's understood. The fruit tastes sweet. Here there is no object, so it is understood. The fruit is sweet when it is tasted by us or by anybody. I have to stay here. You can just say, I am required or I am obliged to stay here. Next one. It is impossible to do it. It is impossible to do it. Now let's see how to change this. It is not possible to be done. Okay? This impossible is not possible. It is impossible to be done. Instead of that, it is not possible to be done is better. It sounds better. It is impossible to do it becomes to be done. Okay, in passive voice. Now, shall we go through all the sentences? I have given you an exercise of combined sentences. Let's see. The police arrested a militant and sent him to jail. A militant was arrested and sent to jail by the police. It is necessary to help the poor. It is required for the poor to be helped. It is required for the poor to be helped. It is time to wind up business. It is time for the business to be wound up. The fruit tastes sweet. The fruit is sweet when it is tasted. The fruit is sweet when it is tasted. Same way you can say this, the food is delicious. You can just write the food is delicious when it is eaten. Or you can just say the ice cream tastes good. The ice cream is good when it is tasted or when it is eaten. Okay? So, this way you can change the subject. I have to stay here. I am obliged to stay here. Or I am required to stay here. It is impossible to do it. It is not possible to be done. It is not possible to be done. Okay? Go through all that I have taught you. Now I am going to give you tests and let's see how you do it. This is going to be choose the best answer. Okay, I have given you a test and only 3 sentences towards the beginning, and you have active voice here and you've been given 4 choices. Okay, this is the pattern for many exams. So, you have to choose the right answer with the knowledge that I've given you to write passive voices for the active voice that I've given you earlier. You have to choose the correct option. Okay, we have 3 questions here, yet some more are to follow. First, we'll just see these 3 and then we'll go on to the rest. She took the dog for a walk. She took the dog for a walk, and you have 4 options here. The dog was took for a walk. The dog took her for a walk. The dog was taken for a walk. The dog took a walk by her. Now you have to think and choose the right answer. Next one. He was driving the car that it skidded. The options are: the car was driven by him so fast that it skidded. I think so fast. He was driving the car so fast that it skidded. The car was driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car was being driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car had been driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car has been driven by him so fast that it skidded. I have taught you some rules for each tense. So, apply those rules and you have to choose the right answer. They will laugh at you. Options are: you can be laughed at by them. B. You will have been laughed at by them. You may be laughed at by them. You will be laughed at by them. Okay, only 3 questions now. Let's see. Come on, start working. Let's see you get 3 on 3 and I'll give you a small little star. Think what will be the right answer. She took the dog for a walk is simple past tense. The dog was took for a walk. That is very bad English. You cannot have a sentence like that at all. So that is out of question. The dog took her for a walk. Will is it given that the dog took her for a walk? She took the dog for a walk. So this is also wrong. The dog was taken for a walk. Is that right? Yes, that is right. She took the dog for a walk. The dog was taken for a walk. So this is the right answer. The dog took a walk by her is wrong. So this is the right answer. If you have ticked this, you can give 1 mark for this answer. Have you done that? So this is simple past tense. She took the dog for a walk. She becomes, the dog was taken for a walk by her. You can just add on. Okay. It's understood. You can write or you may not write. The dog was taken for a walk by her. You can add on. Okay. So, she took the dog for a walk. The dog was taken for a walk by her. She becomes her and was taken. Took becomes was taken. Right? We'll go on to the next sentence. He was driving the car so fast that it skidded. Was driving. What tense is that? It is continuous tense. Past continuous tense. Driving. Continuous or progressive tense. Now let's see. What is the rule that I gave you? Okay, let's see. Think about the rule. We'll see the options and then you can think about the rule and give the correct answer. The car was driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car was being driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car had been driven by him so fast that it skidded. The car has been driven by him so fast that it skidded. Think now. Continuous tense, what did I tell you? Was driving is past continuous. So, was plus being plus driven by. This is the verb phrase, isn't it? So, this is the correct answer. The car was being driven by him so fast that it skidded. Okay, this is the right answer. So, this is the right answer here and this is the right answer here. If you have done it correctly, put a tick and you can get 2 marks now, 1 and 2. Next one. They will laugh at you. They will laugh at you. First option, you can be laughed at by them. Second option, you will have been laughed at by them. Third option, you may be laughed at by them. Fourth option, you will be laughed at by them. Now think. They will laugh at you. First of all, where there are wills, you will have been laughed at by them. No, it can't be the right answer. Here, you may be laughed at them. That is doubtful. They may laugh at you. If they have written, they may laugh at you, you can choose this as the correct answer. They will laugh at you is for sure. So, you will be laughed at by them is the right option. Have you got this also right? Check it up. Then you get 3 on 3 and you get a small little star. For 3 marks, if you have done it correctly, you get 3 on 3 and a small star, and we'll continue with more sentences. Shall we? So you've scored 3 on 3 in the first test. Now we have around 4 more, and with this it will become 7 and 3 more. So altogether 10 marks test. Okay. We'll see now. The first sentence is a question. It is the active voice, and the other 4 are options given, and you have to choose the right option. And here you have questions and you have to choose the right option. Okay, the first question is, has anybody answered your question? And the options here are your option has been answered. Has your question been answered? Anybody has answered your question. Have you answered your question? Now 4 options, go through it. I've already given you the tenses. Has anybody answered your question? Now this is a question. When you change a question into a passive voice, that also remains to be a question. So that itself is a clue now. So how many questioning sentences are here? C and D. Okay. So A and B, your question has been answered. Now you are asking a question and this is a reply. So it cannot be a correct option for your question, isn't it? Has anybody answered your question? Your question has been answered is wrong. Next one. Anybody has answered your question? Sometimes this is how people speak. This is, has anybody answered your question? Anybody has answered your question? That is wrong English, okay? This is how people talk and this is wrong English. And C. Has your question been answered? Have you answered your question? There are 2 questioning sentences and this is the right option. Has your question been answered? Usually I told you perfect tense, you have to add BEEN. Brush up your memories. I have given you all the rules to be followed. So perfect tense, if you have to add on BEEN. Okay. Has your question been answered? By anybody is understood. Okay. That you need not write there. Has your question been answered by anybody is understood. So has your question been answered alone, you write. Next one. One must keep one's promises. One must keep one's promises. Now we have 4 options. One's promises are kept. One's promises must kept. One's promises were kept. One's promises must be kept. Okay, now think now which is the right option. One must keep. So this is an imperative sentence. I've taught you. One's promises are kept is wrong. One's promises must kept doesn't make sense at all. Wrong English. One's promises were kept is wrong answers correctly, put a tick. Put a tick and give one mark each. Why did she break the garden wall? This is a question. Now we have 4 sentences and all the 4 are questioning sentences. Option A. Why the garden wall was broken by her? See, many people talk English like this, ungrammatically. This is wrong. Why the garden wall was broken by her is wrong. A. Why had the garden wall been broken by her? C. Why was the garden wall broken by her? And D. Why will the garden wall be broken by her? Which is the correct option? Think. Apply the rules that I taught you. Why did she break the garden wall? It's just simple past tense. Which is the correct answer? You cannot have this because only if you have perfect tense there, you will have this. And this is wrong English and this is also wrong English. So, which is the right option? Why was the garden wall broken by her? This is simple past tense. Okay. Next one. Can we send this big parcel by air? Can we send this big parcel by air? We have 4 options here. First one. Can this big parcel be sent by air? Can this big parcel sent by air? Could this big parcel be sent by air? Could this big parcel sent by us air? Now look at the 4 sentences. Can we send this big parcel by air? Okay, first one. Option A. Can this big parcel be sent by air? Now, which will be the right answer? Yes, of course. Option A. Option A will be the right option, correct option. Okay, have you ticked it? If you have done it correctly, give a tick and you get 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 on 4. And you get a star now and you'll become a superstar if you get 3 more correct answers. So altogether 7 correct answers you've got and 3 more to go to make it complete. Complete 10 sentences and you get a superstar, big star. Okay, check it up. Check your answers. If you've done it wrong, don't worry. Always people make mistakes. We can correct it. So I've taught you how to choose the correct answers, how to apply the rules. So you must apply the rules that I've taught you and try to guess the right answers. Well, we have come to the end of the test now and we are going to decide who's going to be the superstar. Okay, you've got all small little stars for each division of your test. First we did 3 and then 4 and now 3 and this is going to be out of 3 marks and altogether out of 10 you'll be the superstar. Okay, now let's go on to the questions. Could you pass the salt? Now all these sentences are given in the active voice and you have to change them into not change, you have to identify the correct passive voice from the options given. You have A, B, C and D, okay, and you have to identify the right option just now. Could you pass the salt? Option A. Could the salt bin passed? Option B. Could the salt be passed by anyone? Option C. Could the salt be passed? Option D. Could the salt be passed? Now you have to apply the rules that I have taught you, and you have to decide for yourself which is the correct answer. Now let's go on to clarify or just try to analyze A, option A. Could the salt bin passed? We should not write B-E-E-N unless we have the perfect tense. Do we have the perfect tense here? No. So this cannot be the right answer. Next one. Could the salt be passed by anyone? Pass is wrong. It cannot be passed. It's wrong. So the whole thing, the English formation is wrong. So this cannot be the right answer. Could the salt be passed? P-A-S-T, passed is the past, future and the present. So this cannot make sense at all. So this is not the right answer. So which is the right answer then? Could the salt be passed? So this is the right answer, and if you've written the answer correctly, put a tick and add one more mark to your scoring sheet. So this is right. Could the salt be passed? Don't subject the animals to cruelty. Don't subject the animals to cruelty. Now, how do you write this into passive voice? The options are A. The animals are not to be subjected to cruelty. Option B. The animals shall not be subjected to cruelty. Option sorry. The option C. The animals will not be subjected to cruelty. Option D. The animals should not be subjected to cruelty. Now, which is the right answer? Don't subject the animals to cruelty. Okay. Option A, the animals are not to be subjected to cruelty, and this option, animals should not be subjected to cruelty, almost mean the same. Whereas these two, the animals shall not be subjected to cruelty, we do not have let not or shall not or anything here. No, we don't have shall. So we cannot take this as the right answer. Even here, animals will not be subjected is not the right answer. So these two are scored out. Now, which can be the best option out of these two? Don't. Don't is an imperative sentence. Okay. So, out of these two, you have to apply the rules. I taught you the imperative sentences. What is an imperative sentence? That which orders or commands or requests or seeks a plea or submits to some obligation. So now we don't have any of these in this sentence. Animals should not be subjected to cruelty is just a general rule. But here it says don't. So general thing. The animals are not to be subjected is a general thing. But should not is the order. Okay. Don't subject the animals. So should not. So these two have more or less the same intensity of feeling. See, don't do that. You should not do that. So both have an imperative condition here. Okay, so this is the right option. So option D is the right one. The animals should not be. So don't means should not be. Are not to be is general comment. Okay, but here this gives a command. Okay, it's an imperative sentence. It gives a command. So in case you have marked this right, you get one more point. So you have already scored 9 points on 10. Now let's see the last one. The last one is going to make you the superstar. Let's see. Look, they have painted the door. Now what kind of a sentence is this? This is an exclamatory sentence. A sentence that ends with an exclamatory mark. This is an exclamatory sentence. And we have the options here. A. Look, the door's been painted. Option B. Look, the door has been painted. Option C. Look, the door has been painted. And option D. Look, the door was painted. Here, this is been. Okay. Okay. Now, just see the options now once again. Apply the rules that I taught you. They have. What tense is that? Perfect tense. They have painted. Now, you have to look out for the sentences that have the perfect tense words. That is has or have. Have is the present perfect tense. So, you have to look out for the present perfect has or have. Which are the sentences that have has or have? B and C. The other two are out of question now. Look, the door is been painted is wrong. And look, the door was painted also is wrong. Because we have perfect tense have here. Now, what is the next option? Look, the door has been painted is also wrong. Why? Has been cannot come. Being comes only is being driven or anything. With perfect tense, you do not have being. So, the correct option will be look, the door, look, the door has been painted. Option C. So, option C is the right answer. Have you got all the 10 sentences right? Now, check out if any of you has got all the 10 sentences right, then you are the superstar. So, I have to give you a big star and I have to give you very good, because we end up or we wind up with a active and passive voice. I'm sure you're thorough with this topic and I'm sure you're going to do very well with all these choose the correct options, because in school level you have convert active voice into passive voice, whereas here we give you the answers, we give the answers like A, B, C and D, 4 options we give you and you have to choose the right option. When you are given more options, there arises the confusion. In case you go to a shop and you are asked to choose something out of a big lot of a big heap of shirts or pants or salwars or saris, you have confusion there. That is how we are testing you here. We are giving you 4 options and giving you the test of choosing the right answer. If you are able to do that, you are definitely the superstar. I am sure you proved yourself a superstar now. Very good, and hats off to you. So you passed the active and passive voice